everyone, in today's video we are going to see about the next method called checklist method. So this checklist method is of two types, simple checklist and descriptive checklist. In this simple checklist we will have one prototype kind of thing, and using that prototype and based on all the environmental factors we will again classify whether the environmental factor has beneficial effect or adverse effect or no effect. So all these list of environmental factors will be taken in construction and the operational phase. Construction is while constructing and operational is after the execution but not completely implemented, just a partial execution, that means partial construction. So this is the phase of operation, and also this simple checklist method, this is a very good and easiest approach as well. And now let's see how this will be done. So we will have this environmental factor. So I have just taken a few environmental factors in the form of the table. So we will have this table, and here this is phase of construction and this is phase of operation. So in two stages they will calculate the efficiency or whatever the impact of particular environmental factor. So in the phase of construction we will have beneficial effect, adverse effect and no effect, and the same three will be in the operation phase as well. So let's for example take land transportation and construction. So this is the main factor. So whenever a project is being constructed or whenever the project is being accepted or implemented, so first they will take this factor, okay, land transportation and construction. They will check whether the land transportation is being affected or any constructional activities are getting affected because of that project. So even in that as well we will have sub factors, okay, compaction and settlement, erosion, ground cover, deposition, stability. So even after considering the main factor they will even consider the sub factors, okay. Upon calculating each and every sub factors and the final main factor only, they will decide whether the project is occurring or causing any severe consequences or the project is good to go. So I have just noted few environmental factors. So make sure that even in the exam also, whenever it is given like write about simple checklist, first go with the how many types of checklist are there and then description of each checklist, and after that if you draw this prototype you will get a very good score. And these are some more other environmental factors. So all this stress, strain, floods, waste control or all this come under the land transportation construction factor only. And the next one is land use. So how much land like we will have, for example if the project is being constructed here, so they will check the complete how much land use is taking for that project. So in that how much is open space and how much is recreational failure and how much part is residential. So residential in the sense people, how much place or how much space is occupying by the people who are living there, and how much the industrial space. So they'll check each and every space, every aspect of one particular factor, okay. Then they'll go for air quality. So in the air, see depending upon the type of project certain factors need to be considered, right? So if we are setting up their like example, let's say hospital. So if the hospital is being constructed, then they'll check the most important thing is air quality, and they'll check whether the pollution or the occurrences of causing pollution over that area is maximum or not. Because if you construct a hospital in the most easily polluted area, then that's of no use, right? So they'll check the air quality of the oxides and chemicals, gases. So depending upon the type of project they will make sure that it's a suitable environmental factors are considered, okay. And now let's see descriptive checklist. So in simple checklist we will have one table and we'll have all the environmental factors and just we will mark them as beneficial or adverse or no effect, both in the phase of constructions and the phase of operations. But the descriptive checklist involves a clear description of particular factor. So here also We will have environmental factors. Here also we will have sub factors for each environmental factor. But what we will do is, based on the project and based on the methodology that they are implementing, they will collect the data. So depending upon the project, and that collection of data is completely represented in the form of a description here. That means they'll, for example, see here in noise pollution, we are just making sure that a noise pollution about, we are writing some noise pollution in some particular area. So how you will write? We cannot directly say that this part of land is having more noise pollution. We can't tell them, right? We have to prove them each and everything clearly in the description only. So what they will consider, they will write in the detailed description about the current noise levels. That means how much noise levels are there, what are the sources of noise, because of which products or because of which buildings or which things that particular area is having more noise, and how is the vehicle movement, and how is the vehicle traffic, and what are the models they are using, and are there any sound systems in that particular. So they'll describe everything in detail in this descriptive checklist. The same example, if you take for the simple checklist, what they'll take is, first they'll write noise pollution, and under that, this is a main factor, okay. Under that they will take sub factors as noise levels and movement of vehicle. So the same thing only, but the representation will be different, okay. So if they have this noise levels are more effective or beneficial effect, then they will go with that. So the complete process and the complete collection of data will be same, but only the representation will be different. That is main thing you have to understand in this complete EIA methodologies. Every method aim is to collect the data only, but the description and the way they approach to collect the data, those things will be different. So you have to make sure that the difference is very clear for you, even while representing in the exam also. Okay, thank you.